Hi, I'm Dr. Jared Waters, and this is a behind-the-scenes look into the making of the visuals for my arrangement of Jupiter, the Bringer of Jollity, for Saxophone Ensemble from Gustav Holst's Planets. First, I divided the movement into 9 sections, and then grouped sections with repeated motifs or thematic material together for a total of 5. Each section was then assigned various descriptors based on their respective musical characteristics, which can be seen in the captions of each painting. Next, I chose specific techniques of acrylic pouring to best visually portray these musical textures and the corresponding descriptors. I then created 5 paintings with color palettes inspired by images of the celestial body, all of which contain some reference to Jupiter's famous Great Red Spot. Here you can see each of the freshly poured paintings. Given that this movement is quite substantial in its material and has several thematic repeats across the work, most of these paintings, as alluded to earlier, are correlated to specific themes and thus reappear at the respective restatements. The first section features the following 2 motifs: the primary theme with 16th note accompaniment, followed by a 4-measure 1/8 and quarter note motif. The corresponding painting is a red center swipe, in which a line of red paint is applied across the middle of the canvas, with several other colors mixed with silicone oil lined along its sides. A palette knife then swipes the red center line over the adjacent color strips. A butane torch is then applied to the surface of the paint. The difference in temperature causes the underlying silicone pigments to emerge to the surface, creating several cells that represent the high density of notes and activity in this section. The second section features the following melody with a quarter note bass line and syncopated accompaniment, followed by an incomplete statement of the primary theme, and finally, a variation of the 1/8 quarter motif, which transitions into the subsequent section. The assigned painting is a ring pour, where several pigments are layered in a cup and slowly poured in the center of the canvas, allowing the paint to spread outward, effectively creating ring-like structures. A blob of red was then added to reference the Great Red Spot. The third section changes to a waltz-like 3/4 time signature and features the following ever-present melody. As this section progresses, several accompaniment figures are added and developed, in addition to the introduction of a counter melody. This area's painting begins with a base coat of black. Several other colors are then lined over the middle of the canvas. And finally, a mixture of white paint and Australian floetrol is applied to the underside of a palette knife, which is then used to drag the pigments across the canvas. The Australian floetrol creates a spiderweb-like lacing effect that beautifully emulates the gradual increase in musical density throughout this section of the movement. The fourth section is the famous chorale from this piece. This is a swirled ring pour where, after pouring the paint, the canvas is tilted in a spiraling motion to manipulate the overall shape of the rings. The music in this portion is smooth and flowing. Therefore, the accompanying visual follows suit. The final painting utilizes Australian floetrol to create intricate lacing textures to capture the abundance of notes and technical lines within each appearance of this visual. Of all the paintings created for this project, this is one of my personal favorites. I hope you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look into Jupiter, the Bringer of Jollity. This track is now available on all streaming platforms. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thank you, and see you soon.